catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Good evening. I want to say welcome to Storytime. Today is April 2nd. And on this day, we are so excited to present to you a young man that we met in person. You know, one of the interesting things about being on the internet is that you get the opportunity to meet a lot of interesting people. And I had the pleasure of not only meeting this individual virtually, but I actually met him in person as well. He actually stays in a city where I have some family, and he came out and supported something that we did. So we were so excited to be able to meet him in person. So it's going to be a good one, y'all. So sit back, relax. This young man has done some amazing things, and I think that you are going to really, really, really be blessed by this right here. You're going to really be blessed. He goes by the name of a poet has spoken. I do want to let you know something. I am out of town. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. They have a tornado watch. So if something happens with power or the internet, I apologize in advance. So we're going to get going quickly because we do not want to miss the opportunity that we have. But just get ready, get ready, get ready. We want you to please, please, please take a moment and let people know that you are here, and let them know that you're watching Storytime. And as you do that, what we like to ask you to do is just a few things that we call on you to do while we get ready to call our guest up, okay? So one of the first things we want to ask you to do is share this live. Share this live with about 5 friends. Let about 5 friends know that you're here. Tell them that there's going to be an amazing story that might inspire them, okay? And when you do get over here and stick around for a while, we want you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right. So if you do that, that'll be really cool. So just so you know where you are, this is Storytime. Storytime is where human beings connect through life experiences. And we get together on Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m., Tennessee time. So if you're interested in sharing your story, let us know. Everybody has a story, right? And everybody's story matters. So I want you to know that your story does matter. All right. So I think I might hear him knocking at the door. So I'm going to take a minute and go get our guest. Oh, my goodness. Poet, are you there?
Yes, man. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be able to do this with you today. First and foremost, I want to say it was such a pleasure to meet you. It was such a pleasure to see you in person. I want to thank you for coming out there for the Cameo Bobo show with your people. That was really nice. I hope that you enjoyed it.
Oh, definitely did. It was definitely a good time.
Okay, definitely so. And that's what the internet will do. The internet, we've crossed paths a couple of times, and I see some of your people coming in the building. I've seen them. And I think I see T.D. Edwards here, and T.D. Edwards, hello. And I see someone by the name of, I don't want to mess the name up. I know it's Bay Rhodes, it's the last name. The first name is kind of long. I don't want to mess it up. She said, we ready. What's the young lady's name that I met with you? What's the young lady's name that was with you that night? I know you got a lot of poets that hang out with you, but this particular one,
wait, you talking about with the pink hair, right?
She might have had some pink hair.
Yeah, you talking about Marvis Marnock.
Okay, and she's a poet as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just coming in, if you didn't already know, I want to take a moment to introduce the some and present the others. But you guys that didn't know, you are listening to The Poet Has Spoken, and he has an email. And This young man is in the Tennessee area now, but that's not where he's from. So I always like to go back, poet, to the childhood. Before we get into your life and we talk about you being a father of 15 children, before we get into all of that, before we get into why you created the Galaxy of Poets, the poets, has spoken, the name, how that came about. Let's start small. Let's start with the little boy. Tell us a little about who are you, where you're from, and a little bit about your upbringing.
Well, I grew up in the D.C., Maryland area. I was born in D.C. A year later, moved to Maryland. I am the youngest. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. I grew up with one of my older sisters in the home. So, being the baby of the family, I ain't really got away. I got away with a lot of things. But I wasn't sheltered either. I grew up in the church because my family kept me in the church. In the summer times, we would go down to North Carolina to spend time with my grandmother. So I got a piece of the country life and the city life. So I say that I'm
Okay.
like a hybrid.
So I am living right now in North Carolina. So what part of North Carolina?
Raleigh, Newton Grove, Fayetteville.
Oh my God, that's where I stay, in the Raleigh-Knightdale area. So do you ever go there now?
I haven't been back in a while. My dad his family was from Rocky Mount. So my mom's side was the Newton Grove, Fayetteville.
Okay.
Durham, and my dad was like the Rocky Mount area. I've been back to North Carolina, South Carolina for like doing poetry events, but like going back for to see like family, it's been a very long time. Clinton, yeah, you're right.
Okay, well, let me tell you, Lene. Really? Lene's coming through. We were actually going to do a show there for National Poetry Month in April, but we just moved it to May. So we're actually doing an open mic poets in May. So maybe we need to get with you if you want to come back in that area and let us know. And Karen said Clinton.
Yeah,
Karen said Clinton. So Clinton, North Carolina. There must
that's
be
one of my sisters.
She said Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Karen. Hi, Karen. How you doing? So thanks for being here. We appreciate y'all being here. We mentioned earlier before, as you come, share this on your page, because if you know Poet, he's about to drop some information. He's about to drop some information that's going to make you be inspired. So share with a couple of people and like, share, and comment, and let them know you're there. Here's what I found out, and I know you know this too. So many times online, when we're online on any of these platforms, so many people watch, but they don't say nothing. It's how many times have you gone somewhere and somebody said to you, man, oh, that was powerful, man. I heard the poem, I've heard it. And you'd be like, I didn't see nothing, because they don't comment, right? So a lot of times people don't comment. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're here today, say hello and let us know you're here so that we know you're there. So guess what? Karen says hi.
Well, with the Galaxy of Poets,
Karen says hi.
Sometimes we don't feel sometimes we don't feel like the work is being done, but then you'll have somebody come in the DM, or when they meet you in person, they'll be like, y'all lives helped me on days that you didn't even know that I was there. So I always keep that in the back of my mind, because I know that regardless if it's 1 or 1,000, that somebody's going to get something.
Somebody's watching, and if you help just one, then you help somebody. And she said, this is my little brother, and I'm so proud of you. So Karen says she's so proud of you. So I know that you created the name Poet as Spoken for a reason. I know that came from somewhere. And I read, and so I'm going to share that up here. I read what you gave me about that, and I want to talk about that. You're embodying the essence of resilience. And the poet has spoken. It's a self-made thing. It's a quote from the pain that comes with joy, pain that comes from the joy. That's deep right there. Because a lot of people don't associate joy and pain, usually one comes from the other, or sometimes they can come together. So you said from pain
From my
comes,
pain comes my joy. That's a
and
yeah, that's a self-made quote that I came up with because of all the losses, trauma that I've been through, and then to find um the art of performing poetry, because I've been writing for a very long time, but the art of performing poetry, it actually helps you release a lot of things. So that's why I said from my pain comes my joy.
so let me ask you something. As a little boy, did you perform poetry in school, like middle school, high school?
No, the earliest that I can remember writing something, I think I was in I want to say elementary school, the Waco David Koresh. I wrote something on that. And then from there I wrote things at funerals a couple of times. And
Okay.
then I I dipped and dabbed in like the studio in rap music around like 2006, and
Mm-hmm.
from there uh but in 2020, like that's when performing poetry actually took off.
So let me get back to your childhood. So as a child, before you really started getting on the stages, poets write because they find their voice. So when did you find your voice?
Oh man, to be honest, I think I found my voice before I started writing. I, I was always that way. I just didn't. It wasn't channeled. It wasn't always in a positive way. Like uh, growing up, I got into a lot of things. I think if I would have had poetry back then, but that's not the way that my story is supposed to go. But if I had it back then, like the outlet of performing it, because it literally helps you release um, negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because I played with like Transformers, GI Joe. I had friends. Um I wasn't never afraid to speak to anyone. I really wasn't never afraid to speak my mind. What really had me in a chokehold, so to speak, was knowing how to express the feelings that I was having. So sometimes they came out in a negative way because I didn't know how. Like we didn't deal with mental health like we deal with mental health now.
Right, right. So before we really get into it, because I know that what you did was you drew, like I have it written here, something that I saw in your bio. You said you're drawing it from your own experiences, and you
Hmm.
leverage poetry as a means of healing from the past traumas. And so you have a lot of literary contributions that extend beyond the stage. But before we get to that, let me ask you this, because you're a father, right? So
Hmm.
in there somehow to have fathered 15 children, I want to talk about that for a minute, because in that there has to be some joy, there has to be some pain, there has to be some ups, some downs, some stories, and that has contributed to all your writing on the stage, okay, on the paper and on the stage. A lot of those messages, I'm sure, had to come from those relationships. So talk to me about your relationships with I'm not sure how many different women. I'm not sure if you've ever married. Did you ever marry? Were they different relationships? Talk to me about that process and how it contributed to who you are as a poet.
So uh it was not all good, of course. Um I think I was on a journey of lashing out at life because of a lot of things that I've been through. So At the time, it was five different mothers. Um, just had a little boy that was born on February 26th. So now it's 6 different mothers, but this time it's a little different because I'm more healed than I was back then. But back then, to answer your question, um, it was a lot of toxic actions, coming from me that made the relationships not work, that strained some of the relationships with my children. Even with losing some of my children, along a lot of times I blame myself. So some of my pieces have come from those experiences. Um, if that answers your question.
And so, how important is it that we choose wisely with people that we get in these relationships with and have children in regards to your mental health? Because I know you said it wasn't all good. So let's talk about that for a minute. Because a lot of time we go through a lot of things in life. We get with individuals. Sometimes people think they want to get with people because they don't want to be alone. But sometimes you're better off alone, because if you get with the wrong person, it takes you down a path that is a roller coaster. So can you talk about that?
So I think that, well, I always say that 2 broke people can't fix each other. So you have to be on some type of healing journey. You can't be going in 2 different directions. And I wouldn't say per se that it's the people, it's the mindset that the people may be in. Because I heard a quote the other day where somebody said, if you hang around 6 broke people, you're gonna be the 7th one. Meaning,
That's right.
whatever you hang around is the
That's right.
mentality that you're gonna have.
That's right.
So if you're in a relationship and you're not well, and the other person is going through mental health issues as well, and y'all don't even know what it is, like,
Okay.
there's no way you're gonna always be going in opposite directions. So you have to do some type of healing. And when that started, some relationships were repairable, some weren't. But
And there's a term.
that's a part of life as well. And like I said, even with some of my children, it hasn't always been good relationships. I'll be the first one to tell anybody I wasn't the perfect father at all. But there's a lot of things that I had to deal with that I didn't understand.
Wow.
So what
Well,
did
thank you for your honesty. Thank you for that. And
Of course.
TD says the company you keep must be proactive and working together. And she also said, all those baby, praying you and your children find peace. And peace is definitely important, because what I heard you describe, many people refer to as what we call trauma bonding. A lot of people trauma bond. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, like if you're with someone and every time y'all are sharing and engaging, it's always about something happening or something negative or a situation. I mean, it's sometimes if that's what's keeping y'all together and drawing y'all together, then it's really a trauma bond. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people get that, but I'm glad to know that you have all these beautiful children now. And congratulations on the last one. I heard you say you have a newborn, so that's good. February, so that's newborn. That's this year. So congratulations on that.
But
so,
before you move on, trauma bonding, a lot of people don't know as well. When you're going through something specific, let's say a death, and someone comes along and they are there to comfort you, you're going to automatically gravitate towards them. And your relationship can be good, but that's the beginning of a trauma bond.
Yeah. And so did you go through therapy? Because sometimes when people go through these changes, they realize it's a mental health. I heard you say mental health. So it sounds to me like you've acknowledged that some of this took you through some changes. did you seek guidance for that? Because a lot of men won't do that. A lot of men suppress it, and a lot of times we're concerned because they don't voice it. And although I know that you're boisterous because you're on the stage and you write, there still has to be a way to seek other counseling because you can't get it all on the stage. So did you get outside counseling as well?
So got two parts to that two-part answer to that question. Yes, I did seek therapy. I've gone through therapy. I'm in therapy. And it has helped along with poetry being my therapy as well. I will also like to say, when it comes to men, it's a misconception that if the percentage of men, and I'm going to speak for my own kind, if the percentage of men of black men, if you say 100%, I would say the percentage that actually gets therapy would be at least in the 70%. Because it's a new age where we're not looking at it as we used to look at it. Now there's still a large percent that don't, because they don't believe in it, or because maybe the environment that they are in is perceived to be weak-minded. But a lot of men that I have come in contact with understand that therapy is a need. And even if they don't go to what is the therapy that looks like talking to someone and you sitting on a couch or sitting in a chair in their office, they're doing other things that is therapeutic. It could be exercise, it could be men's groups, it could be talking to someone that is a peer, but they have therapeutic background. So a lot of us is seeking things that maybe not be what people are used to, but we are seeking to heal.
And you know what they say, seek and you shall find. So keep seeking it, keep sharing, keep talking, keep reaching, because it's better than suppressing. So I'm going to say that. So now you created an outlet, right? Mm-hmm. In November 2020, you founded the Galaxy of Poets, which is a nonprofit that you dedicated to nurturing safe spaces for creative. Talk to me about that process and how did that come about? What made you realize that there needed to be a Galaxy of Poets? And what made you realize that you needed to dedicate it to nurturing safe spaces for creatives? And let me tell you why I asked that before you answer it. I asked that because what that says to me is you recognize that the poets are going through something, that the poets are speaking out because they've been through some things. So not only are the poets speaking to the audience, but it sounds to me like you created this also for the poets to be there for one another. Now, you tell me if I'm correct with that.
So, one of my sons was murdered in 2018. Also lost my dad a month before in 2018. Dealing with that for a year, and then at the time I was married, and a year later, her son was murdered. Our relationship was extremely rocky. There was physical, verbal, financial abuse, but coming from the woman's side. And I got to a point where I just couldn't take it no more. So I left. I was in a hotel room. It was quiet. And all I heard was, do your poetry. Do poetry. Do poetry. So I created a Facebook group, and it was called Poetry in Motion. And it started out with just one person, and it grew. And right now, I believe it's about 1,000 plus in the group. Wow. But that group transitioned to the Galaxy of Poets and became an organization that advocates for mental health through poetry and showing people how they can heal from past and present traumas. Now, when it say creatives, we're talking about all creatives. It doesn't matter if you're a poet, spoken word artist, rapper, singer, dancer, if you paint, whatever you do as a creative, this organization is for you. Because if you look at Twitch, if you look at
Yes.
Robin Williams, if you look at those that are in the limelight and you feel as though that they have it all, they have money, you see them
Yes.
always smiling. When you see a person always smiling, check on them often. And that's one of the reasons, because of
Wow.
the journey that I went through. And I knew a lot of
Mhm.
times that I made people perceive that I was okay. I wasn't okay. So just imagine, like, our job is, even with you doing this, you are in a sense entertaining others. You giving others an outlet, but who is the outlet for the outlet? That's
Yeah,
where the
I love
Galaxy
it.
of
And
Poets
now
come.
first let me first say I'm so sorry to hear about your dad and about your son. I think you lost more than one child. So I want to say first, you have my prayers, my continued condolences, compassion, all of those things, because it's an ongoing process. It doesn't matter if it happened last year, a couple of years ago. When a loss is something that takes time. It takes time when you lose a family member. So I want to say that first and foremost. And I thank you for doing that, because you're right. Because when you said that, I thought about Whitney. I thought about Whitney Houston too. I thought about her daughter, because here's the thing: when people get in the limelight, like you said, right? When people get in the limelight, there needs to be. I used to work with artists back in the day, like in the '90s when I was doing it through Sony, and in the beginning of their careers. So here's the thing: there needs to be more counseling for those individuals. That needs to come with the program, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you're in something so powerful, so tempting, so demanding on your life, you have no life, okay? You live in public, you have no privacy. It's stressful, so they need an outlet. So what you did was create an outlet, and then you even created another one because you also wrote a book. You're author of Be Inspired, You Are Purpose,
Mm-hmm.
the compilation of inspirational quotes where you have sayings and dedication that aim to uplift and empower readers. So you have created several outlets, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's three so far that you've created. So kudos to you, because that means you know your purpose. You understand that everything you went through was not for you. You understand that. So even though I know you've won some competitions and all that, what has been the most rewarding thing for you since you started doing all this?
Um, I would say when
And y'all bear with we
some,
here. It's a tornado watch, y'all. It's a tornado. Uh, it's a tornado in the area, and I'm in the same city as he is right now. I'm literally visiting, so I'm in Tennessee. So we're both in Tennessee. So if you hear my voice but you don't see anything at the moment, bear with us, because that's what's happening. We're dealing with the weather right now, and it's interesting because, like I said, I'm here in the same city, and so we're dealing with the weather. But I'll ask that question again. Even though I know that you've won many competitions
Mhm.
and received accolades, outside of that, what's the most rewarding thing for you in all these different roles and outlets that you've created in dealing with all the creators?
um to have someone come up to me after the event and tell me that they have been through something similar but didn't have the voice to say it. um that's when I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Because we are the voice of the voiceless, or we help voiceless people find a voice. And sometimes
Yes.
we don't even know it.
Yes. There's Leneva Mo. Hey girl, how you doing? The
Hey,
herbal butterfly is in the building. You know, so thank y'all for coming through. I just want to take a moment. I see Lene, I see Blunt with Love Podcast in the building. Okay, shout out to you. All right, we know TD Edwards is in the building, so shout out to you. Definitely, you've been showing your love, and we definitely have seen Brandy Smith. She says, "Hey," so thank you for you. So thank y'all. Keep sharing, keep telling the folk that we here. Miss Bay Rhodes is in the building, so we thank you for being here. So thank y'all for coming through. We really do. It's really special that you're giving him support. Now he's provided support for everybody else. A lot of time you said something. You said check on the person that's always smiling. I said when COVID came and everybody started wearing their masks. I don't know if I have mine right here right now. I need to keep one. But everybody started putting on the mask. I said people have been wearing a mask long before you could visibly see it.
mm-hmm.
Long before you saw the mask on the face, they were already wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mask is the smile.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
The mask is when you ask somebody how you doing, and I'm good. You know, so it is important that you recognize your people's body language. It's important that you recognize their voice, so that if you're talking to them on the phone and they don't sound right, you know that's a cry for help. I need to go over there.
Absolutely.
So when you realized that you were a poet, when was that? What was the first poem that you did when you realized, okay, I'm on to something. I need to get this message out. I have a purpose. What poem was that, and how old was you?
Well, I any of my my poems that I wrote when I was younger, I wouldn't say that they had that effect on me, but everything that has come out of that I have written or have put out after 2020 and after, I would say all of them, because they hit different aspects of the spectrum, and some of them have helped me release and heal. I just want to touch on, what you were saying earlier about it takes time to heal. Everybody, I always tell everybody, do not allow anyone to rush your process, because how you heal, it could be 2 days, it could be 20 days, it could be 20 years, and that's your process. But what I will say, and what I want people to attempt to try to implement, is what healing looks like, in my perspective, is it don't hurt today as much as it did the day that it happened. That's when you know that you're going through a true healing process, because a parent, and those that are here now, that hear my voice, and those that will hear this later, a parent losing a child, you think they're gonna ever really be okay? How? It's a piece that's gone that can never be returned. So we will never be okay. However, this is the best way that I can explain it. A lot of people understand drugs. So you have people that are on crack, and they in the dumps. They out there every day in the streets. They don't clean themselves. They don't worry about their bills. That's all they're focused on is crack. But then you have these people that are on the same drug, but they take care of themselves, their children, their bills is paid, there's food in the house. That's what is called a functional drug addict. And those that go through grief like mine, that's what we are. We're functioning through the grief, but please don't ever get it twisted. It's no way for us to ever be okay. We just we keep going because we know that we have to, because there's other people that are still here that need us, or we keep going in the name of those that we lost. So regardless, we understand no matter how hard, how bad it hurts, we got to keep going.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. We definitely appreciate that. So again, powerful message. Don't let nobody make you rush the process, and trust the process while you're going through it. And I don't know how much you bring spirituality into it, but I always bring this up, and I hope it doesn't offend anyone. But there's a scripture that helps me, and that's the scripture that says all things work together for the good. So what I get out of that is that what you just said on the end, when you said in the name of, you do it in the name of the individual. So now you make their life matter. Now you are sharing who that person was. And I think that's very important because that's the good. That's the good. So although that person is no longer here, you can share the stories about them. You can keep them relevant. You can talk about them to the other siblings and the other family members who may not have met them, share their personality. I think that's important. I think it's very important that we don't just act like they didn't exist. Do you
I,
agree?
I do agree. So the Galaxy of Poets, when a person joins the Galaxy of Poets and they come through their touch base, and I explain to them what the Galaxy of Poets is, in a nutshell, it is to keep the memory of my son alive and to help people like him and I that deal with mental health challenges that he didn't get the help that he needed. So in his memory, let's help people. And in his memory, this is going to so there's everybody that comes through the doors of the Galaxy, or whenever I'm interviewed, I make sure that I tell people that, because um, I always tell everybody that joins the Galaxy is my child, but every member of the Galaxy is the village helping raise that child, and that's literally. And then with my book, I dedicated. Um, I published the book on the day. Um, I believe it on the day that my dad, um, of my dad's funeral. And I did that on purpose because every time
Wow.
that it comes, that day come around, I'm not mourning him. I'm celebrating him.
Yes. Yes. And that's the book, Be Inspired, You Are Purpose.
Yes.
So again, you use these dates because a lot of times we don't forget certain timelines when certain things happen. So you gave them a different assignment. You gave them a different purpose so that when those dates come around, now you can channel your energy differently. So that was brilliant. I have to say kudos to you for thinking of that. I also have to say, how amazing is it that not only are you creating a safe space for people, but in the name of your son. So that's got to be therapeutic for the the siblings and for everyone else, because although they may not be in your organization, to know that this is what you're doing, I'm sure it's a conversation piece that helps them as well. Correct?
Two of them are. One of them is inspiring to join. But with my children, which is crazy, my girls are poets and my sons are rappers. So it does help them because and a lot of them are inspiring to do other things as well. Like one of my daughters wants to start her own nonprofit to help people with mental health challenges.
Wow. So talk to me about your children. So you have 15 children. How many boys? How many girls? What are their ages? And tell me about them.
Listen here, now you trying to give me a math problem, right? But however, my children are so special that they gave me a cheat sheet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they gave me a cheat sheet. So now it's altogether it's 9 boys, 6 girls, ranging from 1 month to 29.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And ever get them all together at once?
Unfortunately, the last time that we all were together, and this was before the new one was back in 2018 when my son was murdered and we attended his funeral.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm sure that you're going to plan more occasions where you guys
Oh
can get together. And what a
yeah,
beautiful thing that would be with the rappers and the poets. Oh my goodness, you're going to have a
yeah.
good old
There's
time.
some of them have children of their own, so I have grandchildren as well. So like we're
Wow, how many
moving.
grandchildren you have? Oh,
If I'm correct, it's 6 with 1 on the way.
okay, okay, awesome, awesome. And it says here, I want to share what Lene said: keep changing lives and being a living testimony, beloved. Listen, Lene, he has family in Raleigh. I told him about what we're doing. He needs to come on out there. He needs to be a part of that.
Oh
So
man,
we
y'all
need to
know
discuss
already. I gets on this road now. That's all y'all gotta do is give me the information and just feed
yeah,
me. I'm there.
yeah, we're doing something. Raleigh has a very strong spoken word poetry, open mic vibe, very strong, very powerful. It's a lot happening there. So I think it would be great if you want to get involved and come. I think it would be a good idea. They have a very, very strong thing going on there, So what has been the most amazing moment you've had with your children and their creative arts, with their poetry or their rap? Have y'all done anything together?
We haven't done anything to. Well, no. Let me take that back. One of my daughters, me and her did a poem together. My son asked me. One of my sons asked me to do something with him, but I would say hearing their creative projects when they put them out, when they say their poetry, or when they let me listen to their songs, it's like, wow, I'm in awe of them.
Did they
Because
say you inspired them?
I think we inspire each other.
Nice.
And the reason why I say it that way is because for those that know of all the losses, like since 2016, the significant losses that we have had, it has not only hit me, but it has hit them as well. So the same grieving that I have gone through, even though I grieved the son, they grieved the brother.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's two different processes, but they still have gone through a lot, and I look at them like they stronger than me. Like I really do get inspiration from their resilience, because no matter how many times we've been at the brink of breaking, we only been
broken. No matter how many times you get.
Well, no matter how many times we've been on the brink of breaking, we only been.
Wow. So people say they broken, but they really haven't broken. They just been.
So if hold on, the best.
I know sometimes it's funny you said that, because I have a book that I have that had to be published, and it says it talks about the difference between being broken and being shattered. So I think what you're saying is very critical too, because you can be bent, you can be broken, and you can be shattered. You can be shattered, and when you are shattered,
listen,
we are in Tennessee right now, where there's a tornado watch. So forgive us if we go in and out, but we're still here. But and on that note, I have to get you to do a poem too, because I know you have one for us. I have to get you to do a poem, but most definitely,
yeah, I mean,
we can't here and not bless the people with a poem, and I want to know what is that signature poem, like that poet has spoken signature poem. There has to
Oh,
be one signature poem, and I know that's difficult. I know that's difficult because you have quite a few, but there has to be one that epitomizes who you are and what you do and what you stand for.
um, I would say that there's a couple. I don't know how much space you have for me to do a poem, but because of what we just was talking about, I wanted to read something because
Hold
what
on one
people
second.
have,
Hold on. Repeat that because the internet popped in and out. Repeat that, please.
because of what we was just talking about broken,
Hold on. Hold on
about
one
broken.
second. Because I don't know why, but sometimes what it does is it pops in and out. And then sometimes what it does is it gets quiet like it and it's a delay. So when you said those words, we didn't hear. So try one more time, please.
So when we was just talking about broken, I
Yes.
have I have a piece that speaks about my brokenness, but then I have a response to that piece, and
Ooh.
that piece is what I would like to read because it's
Okay.
more inspirational.
So hold on. No, wait. We got to do both of them because we can't have the response and not hear what it's responding to. I got time. We got time for this. Put it in the comment. Y'all want to hear? Say, yeah, roll that. Tell them, spit that. Tell them,
All right,
say
say that.
that. Because we need to hear that. Yeah. We got time. We got time. This is when you're on your own network, when you're on your own broadcasting network, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not nobody else dictating to me how much time. That's why I like being on my own space. See, when you create your own space, you can call your own shots. So a
I
lot of
got.
times people want to go in other people's spaces, but you don't have no control. But I got control here. So we
I
good.
know that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. Let me find it.
Lene said, say that, spit that. Lene said, spit that.
All right. So this is the first one, and I'm gonna go ahead take these off and let y'all in for real. I am broken, and I constantly generate brokenness. The broken pieces of me were created by another broken person. See, I was taught to hurt by being hurt by someone that was supposed to protect me, but they chose to treat me as if I wasn't family. See, you were older than me. You understood better than me. You knew it was wrong, but you introduced sex to me. Then, after making me a dependent of your lust, you broke the trust and said, enough. No longer would you kiss me. Never would you touch me with affection again. Now you decide that this wasn't right after you stole my childhood's life. My wounds never grew scabs. Your decision always made me mad. And people would always ask, boy, what is wrong with you? No way I could tell them the truth of how you taught me to do things to you. I am a male, so it should be okay with me, right? This is what we like. Females throwing themselves at me, but you were family. Isn't this you violating me, or because you didn't penetrate me, it's okay that you led me to the pussy, then took it away from me? You made me into something like a dope fiend, more like an alcoholic craving a drink. Why? I want to scream. Is it okay that you did this to me? Now, every love I ever have, I destroyed on purpose. I will never believe that my heart is worth it. You created a revolving door of pain and hurt, devastation and destruction. And even when I finally gained the courage to tell my story, the family chose you over me. I became the victim all over again. This is why love and hate will always be at war inside my chest. This is why lust always wins over trust. This is why I cannot ever believe in love. You were able to sweep the pieces of me under the rug, and everyone else walked over me and left their shoe prints in mud. No one cares what happened to me. Only thing that mattered was that the elders in the family never found out the secret. I was told it would destroy the family, but no one cared that it destroyed me. That's the first piece.
Wow. Wow. And so let's talk about that for a moment. No one cared that it destroyed you. A lot of times, how did they know that you said no one cared, but did they know? Did they know that it destroyed you?
No one knew for a very, very long time. I would say no one that I know of knew. In the beginning, in the early part of my life, no. But when I finally got the courage to express it, which was way later on in life, I feel as though that it got swept under the rug, and that it wasn't taken in consideration of how that moment led me down the road that I went down, from even with the multiple women, that, because when I got into therapy and spoke to my therapist and shared all these things, that direct act had a hand in the way that I lived my lifestyle. The drugs, the alcohol. I mean, there was other things that also led to that, but that is one of the turning points of my life that took the light out of a child.
Wow.
So when I got the courage to actually start speaking about it, I felt like it got swept under the rug.
Okay. So once it got swept under the rug, and this is good. This is good. And the reason why I'm asking these questions like this is sometimes people don't understand, and a lot of times people don't speak up for themselves, right? Like they are wanting and hoping and wishing that somebody hears their cry, right? They're pleading, they're going through the motions, they're acting like it's okay. But sometimes people are giving you that. So I'm glad that you said what you said, because what it tells me is that you spoke up and you said, listen, y'all, I'm hurting, y'all. I need y'all to hear me. Can you hear me? And if some people won't do that, they'll let you ignore them. So I'm glad you did that. So before we go to T, let me let you do the response.
Okay. Broken, fractured, damaged. No longer was I in one piece. I was in pieces. No one could put me back together again. I had to become my own dissectologist, a master of puzzles. See, it was puzzling to others of how I walked through the fire, but I never got burned. I learned to take the pain and forge it into armor. I took so many hits that it left me down and discarded. No one could hold my broken heart, and I was misunderstood. I was labeled standoffish. That was a protection mechanism. I was labeled selfish when I was the most selfless. See, no one never took the time to walk in my shoes. Let me see you run miles of death like I do. You have no clue of all the storms I had to endure, not sure if death was going to come back for me. Because the last time I missed my final destination, waiting, anticipating when death was going to come back to lay his hands upon me, but instead, he took grandma's hands from me. Death took the breath out of my baby girl's body, slowly tormenting me. See, I'm on through all 4 seasons. I've had so many reasons to give up, but still I rise. With my own hands, I've tried to become death's accomplice. So thankful that that is not one of my accomplishments. There's a long list of those lists: a brother, a father, 2 sons, plus 2 nephews, and a cousin in a span of 8 years. Sometimes I wonder, how am I still here? How am I still standing? And then I remember, God has his hands on me. I'm anointed. I'm one of the chosen. Many would be frozen of the weight that was bestowed upon my shoulders. They told us that God would not give us more than we can bear. So that's why I am the heir to the pain that you could not carry. See, I am your Moses. I am your Noah. I am the eye of the storms of chaos all around me. This is not a boast. This is to show you through all your trials and tribulations, you can make it. So everybody say it with me. I am strong. I am purpose. I do matter. I am enough. We will no longer be caged by our victimizers. We are the sun, and we will continue to shine, and we will continue to rise. We are no longer broken. We are just shattered pieces that make us whole. Whew. Tester. Can y'all hear me? I'm listening. I mean, I'm looking at the chat as well while I got it on the screen. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me or if y'all heard me.
Yes. They
I bet.
They hear you. They hear you. They definitely do hear you. Wow. That was a lot, and we thank you for that. I mean, and I heard you say in the span of 8 years, and so many of you have gone through, and then you said, why am I still here? I'm sure a lot of people get to feeling like that, like, how can they go on after they lose a loved one? And so that's why I commend you for doing what you did, because you took all of that pain and you turned it into purpose. You took all of your pain and you turned it into purpose. And that's what I recommend everybody does in the name of the loved ones that you lost. And so that's a beautiful thing. And so now you're getting testimonies from others on how it's helping them. And so that lets you know that you're walking in your calling and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And so that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you have the Galaxy of Poets, you have the Poetry in Motion, you have the book. What next?
I am working on turning one of my poems into a short film. I also my dream and what I believe that poetry should have a spot on Broadway. Because it's everything. Poetry is everything. Without poetry, you would not have any other type of art. It's storytelling, it's rap, it's singing, it's playing an instrument, it's dancing, it's art, it's abstract art. And I just believe that we should have a spot on Broadway, but I just want to give people a different view of poetry. Of when it's we are planning to do a play where it's if you ever seen For Colored Girls, that movie For Colored Girls, and how in some of the scenes they are doing poetry, but I want it to be all poetry, like the dialogue is poetry.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
so let me ask you this. I was talking to somebody, I forgot who I was talking to, and they talked about it was AJ when Lene and I did the last episode that we do once a month for the culture of spoken word. We talked about prayers, poetry being prayers, that prayers are poetry sometimes. And so
absolutely,
there's so many ways like people can be reached. So the idea of a poetic play would be so therapeutic. It's beyond entertainment. It would be just therapeutic, and then here's the beauty of it. You could take somebody to see something to get a message across to them that you can't say. So if you've seen it and you've heard it and you go, I need you to come see this, because you want them to get the message, because the message is for them from you. But you don't have the voice to tell it. So you use that that means that's when it becomes powerful.
Yeah,
That's when
absolutely.
it becomes powerful, you know. So when is that? When can we expect this? 26, 27, 28, New
I
York
mean,
City,
we
Broadway? I
we
got
go
Broadway now. I can talk to them.
we gonna speak it. We gonna speak it.
Yeah.
I,
Is it written?
I'm hoping for 26. I got a novel. Actually, I got a trilogy of love poems that will be coming out this year as well. I have a poetic novel. It's called Sexual Conversations.
Ooh,
Um,
I bet you that's
it's
okay, okay. I
it's
gotta
a
I gotta put this up right now because when you say that, I know when they go to listen to that right there, I'm just gonna put this up for a quick minute because I know. Give me 1 second. When that comes out, it's gonna be like this: parental advisory, explicit content. I know it's gonna be like that. All right,
so
I already know.
it's gonna be it's gonna be tasteful, should I say, because it's a storyline and the two main characters they meet in a bar, um but whenever they are thinking of each other, like if they have a thought of each other, that
Wow.
thought is in poetry.
Mm. There's nothing wrong with it being parental explicit. When I put that up, it doesn't mean it's not tasteful. That's not what I meant by that. Because what I meant by that is parents govern your children.
Yeah,
Some
absolutely,
things shouldn't
absolutely.
be seen by some people.
Yeah,
And that's what
absolutely.
I meant. Like you're gonna probably have to put a disclaimer on there because some of these kids are too grown
Oh
already.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be a
Yeah.
age type book. Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. So I know it's going to be tasteful. I mean, you don't have any type of personality that lets me think you're going to do anything that's untasteful. Somebody said, let me just let you see some of these comments. So TD said, oh, sexual conversation. And Bayro said, love and prayers are poetry. All right. And Written says, spoken word on Broadway would be so incredibly effective. All right. Lene says, Four Color Girls is my favorite documentary. God bless them. And Bay Rose, I hope you don't mind me using your last two names because I don't want to chop your name up. I gave you a nickname, okay? She says, I trust your dream coming true 100%.
I
And
appreciate that.
most definitely, it will come true. So keep the comments coming. Keep the comments coming. And so let me ask you this. So you obviously have a business mind. You have a business mind because all these things you've done, I know you have business structured. I know you probably have structured if you don't have a DBA or a corporation or LLC, you got a nonprofit. So you have a lot of business entities. Are
Mhm.
you incorporating any type of teaching or any type of sessions where you're helping others to get their books published, to do any?
Um, yeah, at any point in time that anybody reaches out to me, I never have a problem with passing along the knowledge. I've done workshops before. Um, I'm currently, which I definitely got to give them a shout out. I'm currently working for an organization, and it is called the Equity Alliance, where their mission is to empower our people, politically and financially, to show them how they can get these things. But to be under someone else's leadership teaches me how to be a better leader.
And that's biblical. You have to, in order to grow, in order to grow, you have to submit to someone else. You have to serve someone else. You have to do that. And then once you help them to become successful, then you will be able to become successful. So that's just the way it's designed. That's just predestined that way. So you're going about it the right way. Definitely. So you do workshops. So that's good. So workshop. And we definitely got to look into a collaboration. I'm gonna get back with Lene. We got to do that. You know, we were doing the poetry on the ocean, and then we
Mhm.
honed it, and I could see the poetry on the ocean with the Poetry in Motion, the Galaxy of Poets. I can see all of that coming together and really just with some workshops. I see a lot is coming to me as I'm listening to you. So we got to come together and really talk about that. We'll do that. So Renee is here, so we have to do that and plan that, because what I love about the internet is that people get to meet. I've met Renee in person. She's actually been in my house. I met you in person. You met my daughter. So it's a beautiful thing. For those of you who don't like the internet because you don't think it's safe, it's funny because I have a reel with my daughter, because my daughter is 26. I think it was after I met you that night, right? The next day,
I seen it.
You seen it, right?
Yeah.
When I was going to the airport, she was like, "Didn't you tell me don't talk to strangers? That don't trust them?" Even and I couldn't do nothing but laugh, because I used that good old saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." Because she was like, "No." I'm like, "No, hold up." Because see, you know what it is? They don't understand how much we are online with each other. They don't understand how when people go live, sometimes they're live 2, 3, and 4 hours at a time, sometimes 3, 4 days a week. So they don't understand the hours that we may spend with each other. So they don't understand that it's not just that we met somebody and we talked 20 minutes. This might be almost like a daggone internship or co-op. I mean, sometimes you don't have time to vet this person because you don't spend weeks with this person, maybe 40 hours. You know what I'm saying? So couldn't help but laugh at that. So that was really cool. So, man. So I'm so proud of you. I have to go ahead and tell you that. I'm really proud of the progress. I remember when I first met you, I think it's when there was that competition. There was a competition going on. Yeah. And I really I think that was around the time that one of the losses occurred. So I really saw your pain. You was wearing it. Now I hear it and I see that the pain has been turned into purpose. And you're wearing it, but you're wearing it totally different. You know what I'm saying? You're wearing it as outer garment. Before it was like inner, you know what I mean? So it's a difference. And so that's powerful. That's powerful. So I'm proud of you for subjecting and submitting to the calling. I'm proud of you for I know you had to take some time to yourself to really process all this and to figure out how to deal with it. And then once you did that, you listened and you heard and you came up with these brilliant ideas. And I'm just so proud of you for letting whoever it is that you believe in, whatever your choice is, for allowing them to use you in such a way that they are through all of these different means with your book and with your organization and with everything that you have in place. I want to say that I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that.
So out of this organization, are you proud of a lot of people? Have you seen people come in your organization that maybe was quiet, shy, not willing to say much, maybe never performed before? Have you seen people blossom?
Absolutely. I've had people come, I've had people stay, I've had people leave, but we help each other to grow. Like running an organization, people don't understand, like it is extremely hard. But you become business partners and family. And just how we are always there, and then we get strength from each other. And no matter what, and this goes for any and everybody that has ever walked through the doors of the galaxy, even if you're not like a part of the business side of the organization, you're gonna always be my family. And that's just how I carry it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. That's really good. So let me ask you, we've talked about your family. We've talked about your aspirations, the things that you've created. Let's talk about some of the competitions. I didn't want to start out with the accolades and the trophies and all that, because sometimes people get caught up in that. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk more about what you're doing that's helping others. I want to talk about more about what you're doing that's inspiring others. and healing others, because I felt like that was more important to lead with. But now I do want to acknowledge, though, you don't have some championships. You don't went on some stages and some places and done some things. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I am a slam champion. Also, I qualified for the Nashville Slam team. I've been in so many different states, performing. Some I won, some I lost. But I'm always in competition with myself. It's never really in competition with another creative. Um, and it's just like you said, to meet these people is after being online with them and to meet them. Because for me, what I look at it is like Instagram is the icebreaker. Then
Yes.
when you meet in person, especially if you form a relationship from Instagram to talking to each other in the DM or on the phone, then when you get to see each other in person, it's like long lost family. I already know you, so we don't know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest win
Yes.
is
Yes.
coming in contact with
Some
other,
good people.
other loving creatures that want to see others win and
Yes.
just want to be in peace, because we all of us have been through our own wars. It
That's right. Everybody has a
might
story.
not look like mine. My war might not look like yours, but it doesn't mean that your war or my war is more significant. So to be able to walk through that, that's why it's called going through something, because you're
Yes.
not
Yes.
meant to
Yes. Yes.
stay
Yes. Yes.
there. So when you go through it and then you meet other people that have gone through things, now we're able as a collective able to reach back for those that's coming through it,
That's it.
help them pull through it. Let the church say amen.
Amen. And that's why I have that going across the screen right now. That's why this is story time exists. It's a place for you to come share your story. Because I seen somebody said, wow, I didn't know that. This is deep. A lot of times you don't get to hear all this. You see people, you hear their poetry, or you hear them sing, or you see them do certain things, but you don't know the whole story. And that's why I like to have conversations to pull out the story. And some people are willing to share their story because they understand the value of their story and the purpose of their story, that is not for them. So I thank you for being willing to share your story. What do you feel as though you want people to say after they come across you? And I see another person in here. Nigel Roberts is in the building. And Queen.
Yo, that was like real quick. I gotta say, everybody, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. The boy is bad. When I say
Nigel, nice to meet you, Nigel.
yeah,
Make sure you follow.
he
I would love to find out who you are. You got a story to
artistically
tell?
singing, the boy is bad. Make sure y'all follow him, run his numbers up, because he is definitely putting in work out there. But yeah,
Where is he located?
somewhere in Texas, I believe.
Okay. So he's a poet.
He's a singer.
Okay. Well, Nigel,
No. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. He is a artist. That's what
Artist. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nigel, Queen, everybody in the building, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You see what it's all about. It's about helping you to get your story out. If you have a story, that's what this channel is for, to help you to get your story out, to let people know why you do what you do. Okay. How you came about, stumbling into finding out what your purpose is. You know what I mean? Some people did it intentionally. Some people stumbled into it. You know what I mean? So that's good. So when you talked about the people that we meet, would you say that the majority of the people have been good people? I have met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And I really
man.
have met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
So I want to say again, if you don't like the internet, if you're an adult, use discernment, but you can really network and you can really increase the value of your network, and your network does come through the value of the people in your, networking, and like he said in the beginning, if you weren't here in the beginning, we talked the people around you. If you keep powerful people around you, if you keep productive people around you, if you keep smart people around you, you can only go up. You can only get better.
Yeah.
You can only go higher. You can only have more opportunity. You can only make more money. You can only excel. So be careful who you keep in your circle around you, because that's what it's all about. All right. Somebody else also acknowledges Nigel and said Nigel is an amazing artist. What's goody? All right. So that great. Nigel said, "What's good, family?" So yes, yes, yes. So I'm so excited to meet all of you, because some of these people I had never seen before. So let me ask you, is there anything that you would like to share that I haven't asked you, that you would like the people to know in regards to any part of your life, whether it's your family, whether it's something that your family's doing with their talents, whether it's anything in any area that you would like to share?
Yeah, sure. Um, I always tell people I definitely don't look like what I've been through. So we talked about a lot of things that I've gone through, but one major reason why I know for a fact that the creator, the universe, God has purpose for me is because in February 16th of 1996, Silver Spring, Maryland, I was in a deadly train crash, and I walked away from that train crash with scratches, no broken bones. Um, and that also led me down a dark path because 11 people on that train died. 8 of those 11 people were friends of mine from Job Corps, and I was able to pull a complete stranger out. So now I understand. Back then that I went through survivor's remorse. I went through anxiety. I went through PTSD for a very long time. But time did heal wounds. And I literally walked through the fire. Like literally, because the train was engulfed in flames. And if God had not split the train in half, that was the only way that we was able to get out, because the emergency windows and the emergency doors would not open. Um, so if that's not purpose, if that's not meaning that he kept me here for a reason, sometimes I fight that purpose because it's hard. It is so hard to continue carrying all the losses, all of the pain. But I know that when they say he doesn't give you more than you can carry, I used to say I don't want to carry it anymore. But if in all of that, and he lays all of that on me, and I'm still here, and I know that he has purpose on me, and who am I to deny the purpose that the creator gave me? So
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because again, a lot of people don't know that you were in this train wreck.
I,
A train.
I was in a train crash.
Was this like an Amtrak, or was this like a city
Any
subway?
anybody that's in the DMV area, or it was the Amtrak collided. Well, the MARC train collided with an Amtrak.
Wow.
And
That's big.
the
Wow.
thing, the listen, like I could talk about now. It doesn't, and this is what I mean by uh healing, where things don't bother you like it bothered you when you were going through things. Like I used to couldn't get through talking about it, but even back then I didn't understand my abilities.
Yes.
But um we went I was at Job Corps in Hoppers Ferry, which is West Virginia, and they took us to the train station. And when they took us to the train station, the moment I stepped on the train, I had a premonition.
Mm.
While we was on the train, something happened that we had to switch tracks. And the moment that we switched tracks, I told everybody that the train was going to crash.
Let me find out you're a prophet too. Wow. Wow. Now, Written wrote something here very powerful, very powerful. She said, I love you. She said, I love the fact that you acknowledge that it was God who split the train in half, allowing you a way out. Written, come on now, say that again. So my question is, how long did it take for you to realize that? Was you already like saved, or did you already have a relationship with the creator before all of this thing
Um. So, well, like I told you, my family. I grew up in the Baptist church, so
happened?
I always had faith around me. And then I can remember. I don't even think a lot of people that know, like my family. I don't even know if my sister remember this, but it was one day that I was a teen and I was acting up, and my mom has three sisters. They all got together, a circle around me, and prayed hard on me. I believe that faith is what helped me get through that train crash. Um,
Wow. The prayers, the prayers of the righteous availeth much, y'all. Come on now. The prayers of righteous.
because when I say in situations like that, if you panic, you die. I I I just got to be that blunt. If you're in a situation like that and you don't keep your head, you're not going to be here any longer. And the train was on fire. I heard people screaming. I literally I heard all of that.
Wow.
And when I told my doctor the story, he said, because I had a gash over my eye, he said you had to be knocked out for a little while because the
Yeah,
train wouldn't be no the it had filled up with diesel fuel. Diesel fuel is pitch black, so you couldn't see anything. And they say you don't learn anything in school. That's a lie, because kindergarten, first grade, the firemen came and they said if you ever in a fire, drop low to the
top
ground.
and low. Yep.
That saved my life.
Wow.
So, but in that, so I was literally crawling to the light where the train had split in half, and this
Wow.
man came out of nowhere and grabbed her. I didn't even hesitate. I grabbed her hand and I pulled her. I pulled her out. And later on, like, all of this is facts. You can check it. She told the news, if he would not have pulled me out, I would have died because I was paralyzed with fear. So going back to my delinquent days and my mom and my aunts praying around me like that and always having me in church. And then when I was with my grandmother in the Carolinas, she took me to church. I know that foundation had something to do with the stillness that came over me when I was surrounded by chaos.
Wow. And that's why God is using you like he is now. He wasn't done with you. And because he knew that you would do what you're doing now, everything that you have gone through, with the losses that you have gone through with your children, with your dad, and you are taking those things and you have made yourself a catalyst for hope. And so he understood that you would understand the assignment. And so that's why he kept you. So kudos to you for being obedient. Kudos to your family for praying for you and for instilling that power in you. God bless you, man. Woo, thank you for sharing that. That's powerful. Boy, I'm telling you, everything you touch, it's going to prosper because it's a part of your assignment. As long as you continue to be obedient and trust in him and keep him first, like it says in Matthew 6:33, you can't help but win. You can't lose with the stuff you're using, man. So you got it going on, bro. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with me today and just giving us all this amazing. So, do you have any upcoming events that you would like to tell us about?
Um, in July, I'm planning a birthday show here in Nashville. Um, we have Myra's Monarch. She has an event. She does an all woman slam. I believe that's in September. Then in November, we are doing the Galaxy anniversary slash mental health retreat. We'll be putting information out about that soon. Um, yeah, we just out here, man.
Let me know if you need some help with that. You know, that's part of what I do when it comes to that. If you need a place for that retreat, let me know, reach out.
Okay.
So, man, we got to get together, man. We got to get together and do a collaboration. Definitely, man. Thank you so much. And once again, tell the people how they can join the organizations, the Galaxy of Poets. I will put up here once again how they can email you and get in contact with you, but specifically how they can reach you on your social media, what the best preferred method is. Let the people know, and like I'll put your email up here.
Oh
So
yeah. My bad. Thank you, Queen Shay. The Galaxy is having a fundraiser June 21st in Greenville, South Carolina. It is on our page. It is being promoted right now. We are having a flash sale with the tickets are $55. The original price is $80, and for group tickets for two or more, they are basically they're 180, so they're 90. They're 180 for a group tickets. You can find all this information on our page or any Galaxy members page.
So say it again for somebody who might not go to your page. Do a commercial right now, giving the date, the name of the event, the location of the event, the date and time of the event, and the price of the event without sending them to another site. Give them
I
all the details.
I got you. I got you. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So it is Verses of Healing, Ties of Support. It is on Saturday, June 21st at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the location is 1063 Woodruff. That is Woodruff Road, Greenville, South Carolina, 29607. Right now, we are having early bird tickets at $55. It is formal attire. The tickets get you admission to the event, food, a glass of wine or champagne. You also are getting a poetry show. There will be a DJ there. This is a fundraiser for the Galaxy, so we can continue doing the work that we are doing. Also, give me 1 second.
Excellent, excellent. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is his email right here. If you have any questions, go check out his email and send him an email. Can people still be a part of the show? Can people still be a part of the show?
You talking about the actual fundraiser?
Right. Is it open, or it's
we
not
are
open to anybody else? It's not like an open mic type thing.
We are gonna have a space for open mic. We want to make sure that any artists that is planning on showing up, please reach out to me. But just real quick, for the group is actually $120. You get 2 tickets for $120.
Okay.
So for every ticket, you do the math, is $60 if you're doing group tickets. Regular just single ticket is $80, but like I said, it comes with the admission, and you're getting food, you're getting a glass of wine or champagne, you're getting a show. We also are going to have swag bags and all of that. So it's going to be an amazing event. And if you anything,
full production. And what state is this in?
this is going to be Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville. Who's in Greenville? You got some people in Greenville too?
Yeah, I got people all over.
All right, now y'all better get on this. Y'all better get on here. Y'all gotta get on.
Actually, Simone LeRae. She's in Raleigh, I believe. I've been out there before and performed, so I got some connections out there too. But yeah, let's definitely get together. Bring the Galaxy out there.
Man, let's bring it. Let's bring it. I got a venue, man. I got a venue. Come on, let's go.
Well, we will definitely back channel and make that happen.
Yeah, we got a venue. I got to come on.
But yeah, just anybody that does any type of service work, to do this work, it takes funding, and
yes,
we have helped a lot, but we can help more.
Yes.
So that's what the purpose of this fundraiser is, because mental health challenges we all go through, and a lot of people don't understand, and some people think they don't have any. But if you cry, if you get mad, if you get upset, if you get anxious, if you get any of that, those are in the family of it. It's when it's overly done or it's excessive, when it's become a challenge, or it goes from challenges to issues. So we all have to make sure that we all good, and we all gonna have our moments. But this space with the Galaxy is, and it's not just for Galaxy members, it's for any and all creatives. So however you create, then this is for you. This is a space for you, a safe space for you, where
safe space.
Yeah.
Is there a membership fee?
It is. It's $10.42.
$10.42.
$10.42 a month.
Tell them how that came about. How'd you come up with $10.42? I know it's the reason behind that.
So, it's what it adds up to a year. It's a significance behind that, but I can't do that math right now. But it is a significance. Everything that, when you get to know me, everybody that knows me,
that's why I asked, because I know it. I knew it was a reason for it.
Everything I do, there's some type of significance.
It's linked to something else. It's an important signifier for something. It represents something. Well, listen, how can the people reach out to you? I want you to go ahead, and we won't keep you much longer. We'll let you go ahead and begin to do a closing comments and let the people know how they can reach you on the different platforms and when they can expect to see you. Because some people, they do things at certain times, like do you go live at certain times or just sporadic? So let the people know that. I will put the camera back on you and let you kind of give us some closing comments. Okay, I appreciate you. This has been amazing. Oh my God, I learned so much more about you. Again, I'm so proud of you. You are definitely walking in your purpose. Keep doing what you're doing. I look forward to seeing you again. And I'm just excited, man. Everybody who has come through here today and everybody who will come through here, connect, man. If you met this man and you know this man and you have any type of mission like him, reach out to me because I want to hear about it. If you connected to him, then I know you're good people. But let me hear about these closing comments and what you want the people to know about A Poet Has Spoken. Let us know.
So you can find me on all social medias under The Poet Has Spoken. On YouTube is everything The Poet Has Spoken. I haven't been on social media in a very long time, but I plan on finding some space to come back on there because I do miss it. The last thing that I would say is know that no matter what you've been through, that it's not your fault. And sometimes as an adult, you have to talk to that little girl or boy and tell them, I'm sorry, or tell them, I forgive you. Pour into that little child, pour into the little you Do the things that the little you didn't get to do, because what you don't understand, that all of this trauma is still there is because that child in you is still there. So you have to find a way to live in unions, in a as a union. But it's not your fault. Forgive yourself and find something that helps you to heal. Whatever your coping mechanisms are, use them often. And just find a way to put the right foot in front of the left foot in front of the right. And when you get stuck or when you need help, it is also the responsibility of those of us that go through mental health challenges to reach out. Because if someone don't know what we going through, how can we help? So don't sit in it by yourself. Don't seclude yourself. Don't go in your bubble. Find your tribe, grow your tribe, be a tribe, and just continue to love on each other. And whenever you feel like things is too much, reach out to the Galaxy of Poets. You can find us on all platforms, but on Instagram, definitely the Galaxy _of_ poets. If you want to fight for those that go through mental health challenges, come join us. And that's it.
Wow, wow, wow. And you know, the one thing I didn't ask you, how old are you?
I will be 49 this year.
Oh, wow. So you're almost 50. So you know what? You're doing the thing. In closing, would you like to leave us with a piece? Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Poet Has Spoken. He's embodying the essence of resilience. The Poet Has Spoken, self-made quote: from his pain comes his joy. It encapsulates his journey of transformation and serves as a beacon of hope for others. In closing, before I end this episode tonight, we certainly will ask him to bless you with one more thing to leave you with something to think about, whether it's a mental health piece or something. Follow him on all platforms at the Galaxy of Poets. Go check out his page on Instagram and support. He has a nonprofit. If you know anything about nonprofits and the business, it takes money to make things happen. So please go support. On that note, we're asking to leave us with one last piece.
Let me tell you about The Walking Dead. You see mindless, crazed, heartless beings. That's the same thing I see when I look into society. Dope. Got them hung off of getting high's rope. Mindless. Not conscious of what they do. Living in their own world, not caring about the constant ridicule. See, they crazed. They only caring about where they get their next hit from, and some flip the script and they heartless, aiming and pulling the trigger at their target, not caring if they hit or miss. Now we got another mother or father grieving over their child for being a target that they didn't even have a choice in. See, hoods infested with zombies, veins infiltrated by dope, noses invaded by coke, whether they snort it or smoke it. And now they bathe themselves in PCP water, and their souls have no hope. Their eyes have no sight to see what is truly their reality. And y'all know mushrooms got them seeing what's not there. But don't y'all know y'all heathens? From the one that be preaching, but not following the words of his own tongue. But he'll blindly follow the knowledge that he was spoon-fed when he was young. Come with me as I take you on this journey of the streets of the Walking Dead. See, in their head, they want to be Christ-like, but they don't want to live Christ-like. They even part their lips, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, but the whole time they got their peace, and they want to be upon you. See, everybody got their own view that they want you to be confined to. And if you don't believe what they believe, then that's when they slander you. That's because the words that you speak is more heavier than their truth. See, it is not your fault that they will only reason with the reasoning that's in their head. This is why they will always be the Walking Dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Galaxy of Poets. Thank you for watching. This has been Storytime with Shal Crystal. We're here on Wednesdays and Sundays. I am the Hope Catalyst. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Follow, and we'll see you next time on Storytime. Thank you so much.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey!